The truth is, I hate Hearthstone. Nah, just kidding. I actually really still like the game. I play Battlegrounds all of the time, and the latest expansion, Scholomance, just came out, and it's a lot of fun. But people have been asking me all of the time, why don't you stream Hearthstone anymore? And to answer that question, I need to go back a little bit into the history of, well, me with Hearthstone. I started playing Hearthstone when it was in closed beta, and I was hooked almost immediately. I was obsessed with the arena mode, and it didn't stop there. I went from arena to constructed, started hitting legend every single month, and was completely in love with the game. With every new expansion that came out, I'd collect more and more golden cards. I was a real golden card fanatic. Oh, and I streamed it. Obviously, this was the beginning of my career on Twitch. I streamed Hearthstone while I was at university for 4 hours a day, every day, without fail. There were maybe 3 or 4 days in the entire first year of streaming that I missed. I ran a Hearthstone podcast. I ran a Hearthstone show match. I was obsessed with the game, and I could not get enough of streaming it. Hearthstone is actually the reason that I discovered Twitch. I was looking up guides, found a guy called Trump, not Trump, but Hearthstone Trump, and found his Twitch page and just started watching him, and then went from Trump to many, many other creators before becoming a creator myself. Now, I grew up my Hearthstone stream from a measly 1 or 2 viewers, whichever I got at first. Month by month, I got 3 viewers, 5 viewers, 10 viewers, 20, 30, 40, and I got all the way up to averaging probably around 60 on a bad day and 120 on a good day. I joined a pro team, I got my Twitch partnership, things were looking up, but then my Hearthstone stream fell apart, but I still was obsessed with the game. And I got into casting it. For several years, I was a full-time Hearthstone commentator. I traveled the world commentating on some of the biggest Hearthstone events out there. This includes the Hearthstone Global Games finals in Gamescom, and then the following year, the finals at BlizzCon. I cast a Hearthstone event in China. I cast Hearthstone events in Ukraine, tour stops all over the world. South Korea, Taiwan, Thailand, of course, several events in California. This felt like the very best time of my life. But as I got bigger, sort of as a broadcaster, other opportunities started to appear. Suddenly, I was casting a Fortnite event with Ninja and working on Nordic Championship events, hosting for other games. I started to commentate a mobile game called Guns of Boom. I started to commentate the Race to World First events for World of Warcraft. And most recently, I am now the stage host for Brawl Stars esports for Supercell, which is a job that I am utterly in love with. But I realized none of this actually answers the question, why don't I stream Hearthstone? I stream other games. I've never worked a Halo event, and I stream Halo all the time. Why have I stopped streaming Hearthstone? I started streaming again due to being grounded from my esports events due to the current world situation. And it made little sense for me to continue streaming Hearthstone now. Over the last couple of years, every time I've turned my Hearthstone stream on, it's been a sort of once a month, once every few months type of thing. And the viewership that I get when I do that is obviously much less than the viewership I get when I have a schedule. That's just normal with any streamer. That just makes sense. But given that my professional career is much more in the variety landscape now than just purely commentating over Hearthstone, it made more sense to me to branch out and be more of a variety streamer. Hearthstone has been a part of my life for about 4 years, as in like the main part of my life for 4 years. It was my job and it was my hobby ever since I started streaming, really. And after 4 years of playing Hearthstone, really, for like 12 hours a day, every single day, I eventually got burned out. I think a lot of Hearthstone pro players get burned out and they blame the game and claim the game's getting worse. I honestly don't think that's ever been the case. I don't think that ever will be the case. I don't think Hearthstone gets worse. I think people get bored of it, even if they don't want to admit that. And that, while I'm not like bored of Hearthstone, I cannot play it for 12 hours a day anymore. It's just, I just don't have it in me. When I started streaming again, I decided to go variety. Variety is the spice of life after all, and I figured it's time to give this a real shot. I try to make sure that with all of the games that I stream, they're all watchable with a minimum knowledge. For example, in Halo, I'm playing a really hard level with my friends. If I die, that's a bad thing. If I kill bad guys, that's a good thing. Anyone can tune in, not know Halo, and have a vague idea of what's going on. The same is true of Pokemon, Brawl Stars to an extent. It's so simple to look at and watch and sort of understand. There's a ball, our team are trying to get it in their goal, their team are trying to get it in our goal. Simple. Whereas Hearthstone and actually other card games are fundamentally different to that. In order to understand a Hearthstone stream, you have to have a basic understanding of the gameplay. What beats what how attack works, how health works, what cards' effects are, what a deck looks like. Really, to get full enjoyment from a Hearthstone stream, I think you really need to have at least a toe in the meta. You need to know what decks are good, what decks aren't good, why certain cards are used, why other cards aren't used, what happens when this effect is played with this effect. I think there is a pretty major barrier to entry before watching a Hearthstone stream. This also applies to games like Teamfight Tactics, Legends of Runeterra, basically any game where there is a required knowledge base before you can really watch and enjoy it. I don't think it works in my variety stream anymore. Part of being a good streamer, as I've been learning over the last few months, is not streaming what you want to play. You can't... The argument, if you're going to play it, you may as well stream it, right? I don't think that flies with a lot of games in a lot of situations. I'm trying to build my stream in a very specific way with very set intentions. That is the way that I'm angling my stream. I can't just stream whatever the heck I feel like. It doesn't work. And the one time I tried streaming Hearthstone Battlegrounds, since reviving my stream and growing the variety stream that I have, it was the least popular thing that I'd streamed because none of my regular viewers had any idea what was going on. I still love Hearthstone. I still play it a lot. I will still commentate Hearthstone events if I get the chance. I still keep up with the meta. I still buy the expansion pre-purchases and extra packs on top of that. I still love Hearthstone. It's just not a game that works in a variety stream. And that does make me sad because it's not as much a part of my sort of professional life as it used to be. But Hearthstone is and always will be the game that changed my life. It is the game that turned playing video games from a hobby to a job to a proper full-on career. And I will forever be thankful for my relationship with Hearthstone. I don't stream Hearthstone right now because none of my viewers come for Hearthstone. They come to watch me and to interact with the community, and none of them know what's going on if I do stream it. So right now, it just isn't right for me. But I will still play Hearthstone forever. That being said, I release daily content now on YouTube. There's no reason that Hearthstone can't be a part of that. So subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't done so already. I'm live on Twitch Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Not streaming Hearthstone, but streaming a whole bunch of other fun. So consider checking me out and join the Discord server. It's linked below. Come on in, say hi, we don't bite. But I hope that explained a little bit of my insight why I don't stream Hearthstone anymore. Again, I still love the game. There's no controversy here, and I will probably get back to it in the future, probably.